So, just watch the video first.
Tapi Sumatera adalah kopi sangat terunik di dunia karena ada di dataran di dunia yang begitu besar. Dan di masing-masing daerah itu memiliki karakter yang berbeda seperti di Jawa, Aceh, di Sumatera, di Jambi. Itu masing-masing memiliki karakter yang berbeda dan itu merupakan anugerah dari Tuhan yang sangat harus.
The amount of land that's under production for coffee today is the same amount of land that will be under production in 20 years from now.
That are grown here, and in combination with the soils, the sun, the rain, everything, it makes it different.
First of all, my name is Nico. I'm a partner for over 3 years now. I'm the last year's champion of Bahrain 2025. I'm a certified coffee master and a training supervisor as well. So, before I proceed with the actual coffee tasting, let me just share a memorable experience that I had last year. So last year, I was in their places. Number one would be to go ahead and travel to UK Barista Championship. So it was a memorable experience for me because it's really out of my comfort zone. And one plus is you get to travel around London. You get to travel Chiswick, Central London. You meet a lot of people all around the world. Same partners who are passionate when it comes to coffee. So why am I actually sharing this? This is not part of coffee tasting. So I wanted to share this to motivate our champions to bring in their very best to try and win this year's championship. So with that experience aside, let's go ahead and proceed with the actual coffee tasting. So in every coffee that we serve, we follow the approach based on the 4 fundamentals. So proportion, grind, water, and freshness. Proportion, it refers to the ratio of your coffee to water. And our golden ratio is 1:18. So 10 grams of beans, 180 ml of hot water. Next is grind. So grind, it will never be universal. It's actually based on the brewing method that you are using to make your coffee. For today, I use a French press. So I'm using a coffee press. So I use a French press grind on our heating machine. Now, these two plays a big role on how your coffee will taste like. Personally, why, you might ask? It's because our coffee is essentially 98% water, only 2% coffee. So always use clean, fresh, filtered, and chemical-free water. Last one is freshness. So our beans are very fragile in nature. We need to preserve its freshness. So we do it in a way to keep our beans in an airtight container in room temperature only. This is to actually prevent oxidation and light exposure. So our beans now has a shelf life of 1 year for sealed. Once we open, 7 days, and once we grind, it's for 24 hours. So only grind your beans when you're about to taste your coffee. So since most of you already have your cup of coffee, we will go ahead and follow the steps of our coffee tasting. So we have 4 steps: smell, stir, locate, and describe. So the first one is to smell our coffee. It's to actually get the aroma of our coffee. So let's go ahead and smell. Very nice. So what do you guys smell? So anyone of you can answer? Mountains. Yeah, very nice. So for me, I do smell like muddy. So something like soil is what I'm getting because our Sumatra is from Asia Pacific. So you will be getting these hints of, you know, herbal, syrupy, medicine-like smell when we're smelling the coffee. And I just want to share something that I've learned in my journey in UK. So what we're doing usually is we are smelling this way, right? So from a master roaster, the best way to smell our coffee is this. It would be to bring it close to your nose. You might ask why. It's because there's a lot of impurities from our hands that will affect the aroma of the coffee. So it's like a new knowledge that I can share with you guys. So next would be the best part of a coffee tasting. We get to taste our coffee. So we will be slurping it. And don't be shy. The louder, the better. Let's go ahead and slurp. Alright, and this to actually get the acidity of our coffee. So, how do you guys find the acidity? Super high. Right? Low acidity for me. Now, acidity, it actually refers to the tartness or tanginess of our coffee when we are sipping it. Pretty similar when we are drinking citrus or orange juice. And next is a second slurp. And now this is to locate the body or the weight of or thickness of our coffee. Let's go ahead and do a second slurp. So how do you guys find the body? Very heavy. Yeah, I agree. So the last step would be to describe. Well, actually, while we are doing the first three steps, so we are describing the aroma, we are describing the acidity, and we are describing that we have about our Sumatra coffee beans. So Sumatra is the favorite of our former CEO, Howard Schultz. And among partners in Starbucks, if you would ask them what's their favorite beans, I think this would be the most usual answer for our partners, Sumatra. So and it has notes of herbal, rustic spices, and it is herbal and layered. Now, one important thing about Indonesia is most of their coffee farms are smallholder farms. What this means are they only have a couple of trees on their backyard. So which means that these coffees are very special because those farmers, they are very picky when it comes to picking the fruits. They are hand-picked one by one, collected, roasted, and here we have it right now, our Sumatra coffee beans. And then for the packaging, we can only see like one dominant thing on the packaging. This is the Sumatran tiger, so Sumatra Pantera. This is one of the smallest tiger that are in Indonesia, Sumatran tiger. Now, what I can say about this one is this actually embodies Sumatra coffee. Even though it is small, it is very strong. Pretty much like our cup of coffee. Even though it's just this size, you can feel the strength of this coffee. So that's the resemblance of Sumatra tiger to the Sumatra coffee. So that's my very quick coffee tasting. It was my pleasure to have you guys today. And again, best of luck to my champions. May the best one win.
Thank you so much, Nico. Della and you can stay there in the reception. And then for if you have any props, you can prepare ahead of time.
So now David will choose his.
Good.
Be nice to meet him.
Hello. Good morning.
Imagine my face is decided and just thinking. Go ahead.
Allow her to choose which coffee.
Now you have 3 minutes to prepare. Thank you. All right.
Good luck.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys.
Wow.
How are you?
They have four competing against each other. I know the last time we joined, there were two, so it was just me and Anna. Stand there and four.
No, it's okay. We will not do it. Nobody will be.
Because you came late, someone else took yours, and this was supposed to be, I think, Ayman, right? That did not accept. No, you won't. No need. It's fine. No, we're waiting.
Yeah.
I think it's just food pairing. That's
Yeah.
how you presented the
So
way
this,
it was.
this is the most awakened.
That's why my name is.
That's why
That's why food pairing. He came for this. For the food pairing.
Yeah, too much on
Boss Moto, please. This is only for me, okay?
Okay.
How are you? Hi, welcome to Starbucks. You're from the Canada,
Oh, Indian.
Okay, what?
How much better?
Ivan, are you ready for your information number?
Yes, we can.
You're gonna what? State the whole website. Yeah, sure. So Krista is a member now of our website. She's trying to mix our condo, so we can enjoy it later. We're just having a little.
Actually, no front கூட வரலாம் வரலாம்
Hopefully it will
zoom
be
பண்ணி
fixed.
zoom பண்ணுங்க இங்க பாருங்க
What's she doing? Okay. She's now a training Bepco. She's fixing the. She's doing the troubleshooting of the motor. She's now a training Bepco. Ready?
Yes.
She's now a training Bepco. She's fixing the.
ரெண்டு ஃப்ரண்ட்ல தள்ளிக்கணும்
Because there's a wall in between. Actually,
You know what I am using on it? Once they get the so it's
and because they didn't like it, but there was no wall. Okay,
Thank you, Anna.
and because we have
Thank you, Anna.
exactly like that.
Let's go.
Wow, so shy, Thailand. So shy.
Hi, good morning. Good morning, good afternoon.
Can we get the feedback? You want to see?
Before David's presentation, please prepare a video for him. Let me play.
Please don't cry.
Hi, David. Good luck for your
Championship. We are proud of you from England, Mauritius. Good luck, Derek. Through your way to victory, Team Alba.
Good luck for your Barista Championship for tomorrow.
All the best.
All the best. We are cheering for you.
Hi, Debbie. Good luck for your journey.
Wish you a good luck, David, for this National Barista Championship from Team A.
Good luck, David. Go, go, go. Good luck, David. From Barista, we wish you all the best. Good luck, David.
Good morning, partners. Everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Je m'appelle David Johnson, Gabriel of Cameroon, and I'll be delighted and I'm happy to be here. So far, this has been an amazing journey for me, and I've come to believe in something, the potential of a tiny little bit. I'm going to keep this here for you. This is a significant role in my life where something yet so small spread out so much love all around the world, from the east to the west, north to the south. So small, but yet so amazing. And I would like to start my journey. Before we start every day, and when we talk about proportion, which is the first, what do we mean? Proportion is a guideline. And this guideline is what guides us to produce a very good, amazing drink, which is the coffee. Now, I choose the French press because it's a patented method whereby it keeps updating, it keeps motivating, it keeps coming out new. I could give you a model. So this is a symbol of me, consistency, growth, and the motivation. Now, proportion is the ratio of coffee to water, which you all know, the guidelines to get a perfect coffee. Like the earlier said, if you get more water for a lesser coffee, that it will not be good. The taste will not be there. So we want to make sure we get a good step. For this, I use 8C, which is about 54 grams of coffee, and 980 ml of water. This step is a guideline only to achieve our perfect coffee. Next, we want to talk about the grind. The grind, of course, we cannot try the coffee if we don't grind it. And we have so many grind methods. Two similar methods are espresso and coffee press, because they use the same pressure method, because they apply a little pressure to extract the coffee. And also for the grind, this is a French coarse grind. This means that our coffee is grind similar or situated to the brewing method, which is the French press. Next, which is the water, based on just the site only. You can discover that water plays a higher role in the coffee. So this means that our water should be free from chlorine, sulfate, chloride ions, any chemical that can affect that love that is in the coffee. And also the water for the temperature we have to consider, which is 90 to 96 degrees Celsius and 90 to 96 degrees Celsius, 105 to 195 to 205 Fahrenheit. Sorry. And last but not the least, let's talk about the coffee fresh. Ladies and gentlemen, how we keep our coffee fresh? The four elements of coffee that affects the coffee. Number one, light, heat, oxygen, and moisture. These are the four elements of coffee. And also, when you want to talk about keeping the coffee fresh, you want to talk about the shelf life, which is newly updated, which is 54 weeks. Once you open, it's 7 days, and once you grind the coffee, it's just about 1 day, not ending there. Once you brew the coffee, it's 20 minutes. So let's go. Now, I want to talk about the 4 criteria that make up CAF practice. This is put in place in order for us, before we introduce we ought to make sure that everything is in place. Now, these 4 criteria are aroma, acidity, body, and freshness. Aroma is simply, it refers to the growing region for the coffee. So you discover that coffee from Africa, they are mostly citruses. That's why I have a citrus press here. Oh, thank you, madam, for the pressure. A little bit more pressure. So you want to talk also on, the next thing you want to talk about is, next one I talk about is the acidity. Now, when we talk about acidity, what do we mean? Acidity is that sensation. When we slurp the coffee, we find it. Now, the acidity, it's a beautiful thing. When you slurp the coffee, you're able to pick out some sensitive sense in that is being found inside the coffee. Now, acidity doesn't only end there. It also moves forward to our next step, which is the body. Now, body simply refers to the weight, the thickness of the coffee. How amazing! Something so small like this will have body and also have what? Acidity. So small. And last but not the least, the aroma. Last but not the least, acidity, body, and flavor. Sorry. So flavor simply refers to the growing region of the coffee. Asia has the note, the flavor of citruses, while Latin America has nuts, and Asia Pacific has in the coffee. Yes. So now, let us begin. The first thing first we want to do, obviously, we want to smell. Don't be in a haste. The right thing we ought to do, you want to look into your coffee. If this is a blind coffee tasting, I don't know the coffee. So how are the hints I'm going to get that I have this kind of coffee? You look into your coffee. Now the next, you want to smell. As a coffee master, I have learned that you do not smell the coffee by cupping your hand because they have alcohol, they have makeup, they have other that can affect the flavor of the coffee. So you want to smell the coffee, go into direct contact with the coffee. So let's try to find that beautiful scent inside. Yes, so for you, what's the aroma you think you'll find?
Something healthy.
Something healthy? Oh wow, amazing. Something healthy. And for you, sir? I want that's so good. That's so beautiful. Amazing, George. It's amazing. And so the next thing we want to do, we want to slurp. I believe we cannot wait to dive into the coffee. We cannot wait. I believe we already can wait at the tongue, so we get it perfect. Now when we slurp, what do? We get the acidity only. Not necessarily the body yet, because you want to find that tiny sensation on your tongue. So let's slurp. And when we slurp, we spread the coffee on our palate. That helps us to find that acidity. Now, the louder, I heard something from here, let me move closer. The louder, the better. So let's slurp, please. So that's so nice. I think this. So now let me ask one question, judges. For you, what do you think is acidity for you?
Acidity would be low.
It's a low acidity. This is because our coffee is Sumatra. And the reason why the acidity is low is due to the roasting profile. Now, the roasting profile affects the acidity of the coffee because of the roasting profile. It begins from 6 minutes, from 1 to 6 minutes for the blonde, and from 6 to 9 minutes for the medium roast, and from that roast it takes from 9 to 15 minutes. So the higher the roast, you want to introduce the food pairing, but now let's locate the coffee. One step again. Yes. I want to hear from you, madam. Where do you think you locate that body? It's full for you. Amazing choice. Amazing. Full body, it refers to that thickness, the weight of the coffee on your tongue. A perfect example could be the orange juice. And for the acidity, it could be the... When we locate, we ought to do something. Let's calibrate our tongue one more time, please. Judges, you have waters on your side. Partners, let's calibrate before we introduce the food pairing. Okay, let's go. So, our food pairing, which is the cheesecake. Now, how do you introduce the food pairing? I don't know how I will share it, but I will just put it here. This is one of my favorite tables. So, first thing first, I'm going to take the first one. You locate the body, if you locate the coffee by introducing the food pairing. What do you want to do? You want to sip first, and then you take a bite, and then you sip again. Now that's how we introduce the food pairing. Now why is this very important for the food pairing? It is important because it brings out the bold flavor in the coffee. Now we have complementary flavor, and we have. Now let us describe our coffee. Actually, our coffee bag is actually being all these products here you see here is actually being introduced by a genius who is Mike Beck. He designed the bag. So from based on looking at the coffee, what's the first thing you want to see? Yes, that one. What's the first thing you will see on the coffee?
The tiger.
The tiger. What's the first thing she sees? The tiger. Now the tiger plays a significant role. The energy, the power, the motivation from the tiger. That's what it is here. Another thing you want to see here is the updated system where the roasting, the profile of the coffee has been changed. Nevertheless, this is because of the new information that are being vetted on the coffee. And also from Sumatra, discovered this lion normally graze where they plant the coffee. That's why it is here also. Last but not the least, judges, the last step for coffee tasting, which is the fifth step, I will put by your side, which is just record your learning. This is the 5 steps as I learned as a coffee master. The last step, record your learning. Now, feel free. If you have a digital coffee passport, if you have a manual passport, just put something down for me. I would love to have your organic source without any organic. Now, this is a system where to prevent that we get the coffee, we get the coffee by the sourcing. Now, what does this mean? What does ethical sourcing mean? It simply means that the coffee is we get from nature. So we want to make sure that we get it in a responsible way, sustainable way, and also we want to ensure that this ethical sourcing is also about the farmers, their environment, their health. Next thing you will see on the back, which is in partnership, which was introduced in 2004, it is the Conservation International. Now, what is Conservation International? Conservation International simply means that the coffee is non-organic. So Starbucks ensure that that coffee is organic, that there's no additional extra chemical to grow the coffee faster. So this helps also. Now we want to talk about the 4 criteria that make CAF practice, which is anybody can guess? Number 1, quality, economic transparency, social responsibility, and environmental issue. Quality simply refers to the taste in the coffee, the consistent taste in the coffee. Social responsibility refers to what? The farmers, the right of the farmers. Economic transparency simply refers to the price paid to the farmers, and environmental leadership simply means protecting our natural product, which is the coffee that we grow. Now, we want to talk also, last but not the least, we want to talk about the Farmer Support Center. In this stage, we have a Farmer Support Center that helps us to ensure that we have a high supply of high quality beans all the time. We have from Africa, we have 3 Farmer Support Centers. We have Ethiopia, we have I think I'll get back to that. We have Ethiopia, and then in Latin America, we have Morocco. We have Brazil, we have Colombia, and also we have the Guatemala, which is a single origin coffee. And in Asia Pacific, we have a little bit China, one, and also Indonesia, which is also one of the largest. I'm going to stop here. The last thing I want to do is to describe the profile of the coffee. This is a Sumatra coffee. Now the profile, let's go. A Sumatra coffee, it is the flavor note, it has a note of flavor, herbs, and rustic spice. It's a medium roast, and it's a dark, though it's a dark roast, sorry, and it has a wash process which affects the coffee, which also the coffee, which means that why is it the washing process affects the coffee? It's because of the, who can guess? Who can guess? The wash process. Why does it affect the coffee? Why does it affect the coffee? Because of the timing. The timing. So if it's a dark roast, the timing for the wash process is a little bit different. Now we want to talk about the last but not the least. Just few minutes I have. Last but not the least. Our first farmer support system was actually introduced in Santos, Costa Rica in 2004. One more step to go. We have the capital route. For some growing areas that don't have enough capital, Starbucks steps in. This is what I learned as a coffee master. Starbucks steps in to ensure high root coffee that would enable the future supply of high quality coffee. Ladies and gentlemen, my time is up. My name is David. It's a delightful experience to be here, and thank you all for your time. I think you felt that I am.
Go ahead.
I need the support. Who can be a good luck for me? I need a good luck for me. I need a Mamisha, please. I need a good luck. I can. You can choose the beans for me. Come on, let's go. Yeah. No, Colombia, 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 Colombia. It's all about you. It's all about you. Just the right thing.
You ready?
I am.
Because you're
Let's go.
Colombia, 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 Colombia,
Let's go. I can do it. I can do it.
That was
Sorry. Huh? No, good luck.
that was so bad.
Which one? You also blonde, right? He's also blonde. Colombia has both nice store. Jagabal. Yeah. So Park Place, Mantra, Ethiopia, they all have a nice store. Espresso. I would go with it. I don't think so. I don't But it's not his fault. I will not blame him. What I would that
Next is something.
right now, but everything you compare to orange. Sorry, in Bali. I just thought it was later on. I want to, yeah. I like that he came to was not just look this, but also it's very fast, yeah. But usually we didn't have. But usually we didn't have. That's why I didn't have it. I like it here, but usually this is how we speak. Even in normal, it's very, that's his nature. Yeah, that's his nature. What will be?
Guys, when we are waiting for the next competitor, and while you are,
What is she here?
You look like a statue of liberty.
What's the about that yet?
That's why there's no clarification
So
there.
while we are finalizing the score sheet, while waiting for the second one, so please have some. Yes.
No. Yeah. I think we just watch. I like it so much. It's not good. Nice, huh? Why don't you close? I don't even talk to you. Don't mind me.
Grace?
You already finished the school? Correct? You are very good judges. Better than us.
Very observant.
Guys, do not forget to reset your timers, yes? That partner is just now? No, none of them.
They are not here. They should not say.
You're dancing in the sunlight.
Go.
You're ready. We're ready when you're ready.
Are we ready? Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's start.
Alright.
So, good afternoon, partners. Hi, everybody. Hello. Welcome, first of all, sir. No swadika, okay. Then goes for what else? Saltea, Elavalla. So, that's all. Maganda, sir. So, I hope everyone is doing fine. So, today, I'm your aspiring national champion standing right here. So let me introduce you myself. My name is Sakmani Yasser. I joined the Starbucks Coffee Company 2022 of September. What are really inspiring, first of all, and really one of the delicious moments I have been enjoyed 3 years in Starbucks, and more to come, many more. So yeah, that's who I am. I'm really happy to today conduct coffee tasting in front of you with a really good passion to create some good, wonderful memories and have some new exciting knowledge and some fun facts. So yeah, let's start. Today I'll be using espresso beans, conducting my coffee beans. So let's go for it. So we have some fundamentals to brew the and grind, water and freshness. Each of them describe its own really great value, which really meant it, why we do need to have these 4 fundamentals and brew the perfect cup of coffee. So proportion describes what's the ratio of the water to the ground coffee. So as we know, the proportion right now coffee to 980 ml of hot fresh water. So the proportion, as we know, the proportion is more in terms of water as compared to the ground coffee, which is 98%, to just 2% of liquid ground coffee. So we make sure whatever proportion we are going to use is going to have to be precise and accurate. So yeah, that's how it goes. So let's move on to the grind. What is a grind? For you, I guess, when you listen to the grind, you will say it's like crushed beans. No. That depends how you're going to grind your beans, whether it's going to be over extract, under extract, which is going to be like coarse or fine. The grind today I'm using is a French press grind for this brewing method, the French press. So the French press grind describes the particles are more coarse. What's the meaning of coarse? Coarse means the more bigger particles, and by fine we mean the really little and small particles. So the coarse grind I'm using. So let's move on to the water. Well, for me, what I would say, the water, the temperature of the water is really consistent and really have to be precise whatever you're going to use. Make sure your water doesn't taste like chlorine, or smells like magnesium or iron when you're going to taste it. Celsius. Okay, stop the timer. Once the 4 minutes timer is finished, we have to plunge our coffee down and it's ready to train for at least 20 minutes. That's the freshness. We'll move on. So let's set our timer of 20 minutes that our coffee is good. Yep, that's all. So for the temperature of water, we are using is 90 to 96 degrees Celsius, and for the Fahrenheit is 195 to 205 temperature is the water. So let's move on to the freshness. Partners, the freshness. What's the freshness? Freshness is like how you're gonna store your coffee. That's where we introduce our one-way valve bag, which is also known as flavor lock bag. Okay, it was introduced in Starbucks in 1985, but in 1989, finally we adapted in all our coffee beans. That's how it goes. So the freshness says that your coffee should be stayed away from core elements, which are heat, oxygen, light, and moisture. So we make sure that flavor lock bag, as you can see, it's like its purpose is to get the carbon dioxide being out instead of being exposure to our oxygen when we can also put that coffee in a big plate to just get the carbon dioxide, but it will include with our phone elements, it will attract, and that's what's gonna really have a bad comparison of the coffee and the taste and quality as well. So that's the freshness. So I'll pour the coffee to everybody of you. We'll taste the coffee and we'll describe how we can test our coffee and what are the steps and the characteristics. So today, partners, just a reminder, we are pouring the center heart of the Starbucks, which is espresso beans today. It's a dark roast. I'll be going for more of it. So continue. Yeah. So we have some steps of testing the coffee and we have some characteristics. So for the steps, we have smell, slur, locate, and describe. But on the other hand, we have some characteristics which are defined as aroma, acidity, body, and flavor. With smell our cup, we'll get the aroma. With slur, we'll define its acidity, the weight, the thickness, how does it feel on our tongue, and describing the flavor. So let's just smell. So partners, since you are new, let me describe you how we can smell the coffee, how we can get the aroma, how we can locate its acidity and flavor. So we'll take the cup close to our nose and we'll define what does you feel? Like where does it take you when you're gonna get the aroma? Espresso, sweetness, that's what first thing comes in your mind. Sweetness, not being bitterness when you taste. That's why we make it our signature roast of our Starbucks. So, what do you feel, guys? Partners?
About the acidity?
The aroma. يعني what? What do you like sense the aroma? How you can describe it?
Espresso for me is like my Americano.
Just Americano, just a normal coffee. How about you, sir, Jason?
Same characteristics as great.
Alright. But I guess maybe, yeah, it's a blend. You can say it's a blend because it's from Latin America and Asia Pacific. You can get some notes from Asia Pacific like earthy and herbal, but most of what it's like mostly of cocoa. That's how I can say. Cocoa is a little bit sweet. So I would say it's an aroma. It's having a cocoa. Spread the coffee all over your belly. Let's give it a slurp. Come on, guys. Ow. It's bitter, yeah? Oh. So, the slurp, where does it take you? The acidity, how do you guys feel? For me, it's a medium acidity. I would say. Why? Because I can still not get that longness of the acidity or the tenderness which you can feel in your, what you say, palate or your mouth? No. What do you feel, sir? Feels medium? How about the body? Let's give it again slurp so you can spray the coffee more and you can define the coffee more. Wow, ooh, that's a really full body, I would say, because that's having a really bit of the coffee. Like, you know, when the customer will come, I don't taste the coffee. Come on, sir, there's a coffee. That's why we make it signature, because there's much more of the weight. So, that's all. So, describing the flavor, I would describe the flavor of espresso. As we know, it's a blend from a Latin America and Asia Pacific, launched in Starbucks in 1975. Okay, so it's having some flavor notes of caramel, you can say. I guess that's how it's in. But before that, I would take you on one more little bit fun fact where you will enjoy more coffee tasting. So partners, we'll do some food pairing. We have as caramel. I'll be serve you. Please just have some caramel. Waffles will have some clean finish to our mouth. Then you can say, yeah, that's a really good coffee. Please, caramel waffles. It can be nuts, but I would prefer caramel waffles because it will give some more clean finish to your whole belly and more mouth. So partners, how we will do, we'll give it a slurp, a large long slurp to spray the coffee. You give a slurp, and then you have just a little bite of caramel waffles. You chew it, I'm sorry, it's really sweet, I know, you are having more calories. So, one more slurp. Let's go for it. Last one. I promise, that's the last one. I'm not gonna ask again. You have to feel the coffee all over. How is that? How do you feel?
It's complimentary.
It's complimentary. It's really nice. Like that's the feel of the coffee tasting. That's how very you have to connect to the customer. We have to explain what does coffee mean in Starbucks. So, describing the flavor, I really enjoyed the coffee tasting video. I would go for the packaging. What does it mean? Italian word that how does espresso is being defined? Like when the coffee is being pressed, express coffee. That's how we can say. What is the thing which stands for that? So as we can see, it's a dark roast, as I say. So having a full body, medium acidity. But most probably, I will be describing some more fun facts. You can see at the down that says Arabian coffee, yeah? Like Arabica coffee, you can say. Arabian or Arabica. Or we have two types of coffees, which are Arabica and Robusta. Here does it say Arabica. Why? Anybody? Any answers? Why does it just say Arabica? Why it cannot be Robusta? The other were variations. Why? Any answers? Nothing? So I would describe, Arabica is one of the finest coffee in the world, where 65% of the Arab population is being expressed by Arabica. Like that's how this coffee is being, because most probably it's of its altitude, where it's grown, okay? It's the beans, how much dense are these, how much the volcanic soil, like the growing region is most in Latin America, where it's being grown Arabica coffee. And most probably these plants are not in contact with what you're saying, draft, any bacteria or getting sick. That's how you can say Arabica coffee is the best to use, and that's why most of the 65% of the world population is being attracted to the espresso coffee. So that's what I can say. And yeah, thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate your wonderful moments. I would love to take any questions. I have some. Would you like to ask me the ethical sourcing, or should I go for it? I should go? Let's go. Let me please. Can I have some time? I guess I have some time. So just a few minutes, okay? So 4 minutes is enough. So partners, where I will be describing more over to the espresso, we have something called ethical sourcing, conversation international, and cafe practices. I would really link it really well that you can understand. So partners, we have something first of all thing called ethical sourcing. Ethical sourcing will means that the coffee which we are buying or which we are getting for our farmers is being ethically sourced, but through our cafe practices, with our farmer support centers are having it, and in terms with the collaboration with Conversation International. So ethical sourcing means like 99% of our coffee is being ethically sourced through our cafe practices. Cafe practices, how would you describe it? Social responsibility. That's for the things which are components of cafe practices. Why we develop cafe practices? To support our farmers. To being having some acknowledgement how we're gonna grow our coffee, how we're gonna present the coffee, all right, and most over what we take from our farmers and what we give our planet, like how we're gonna represent. So that's cafe practices are being described. That's how we have, for that cafe practices, we develop our farmer support centers all over the region. Like we have 9 farmer support centers, mostly in Latin America, but we also have like 2 in Asia, Africa, and 3 in Asia Pacific. So that's where we develop. By then, source and cafe practices I described, which is really important, and one of the company's first quality standard where we describe and partnership with our third-party services and also Conversation International. So yeah, that's all. And espresso, center of the heart of Starbucks. Thank you so much, partners. Thank you. Any more sweets? Any more nuts?
Okay, Sejong, it's your turn.
Last but not the least, thank you judges for being with me. I appreciate that. My place. Let's do it.
By the way, it's a comment. Sean, she forget, Kristen, she forget. Kristen, when she was she forget to brush. And that's why for me, she was, no one wanted to talk to her. She remember after some time, which was a big class, it's not fresh. That's why we disqualified her. That's why we disqualified Sean was there. So it is a comment. But for me, it's finish. Yeah. But one thing I want to do that you understand each and every word. Yeah. You understand each and every, and I think honestly, I didn't check this on that. And I think honestly, to be honest with you, if you will check the people who won champion, Sumaya, her English, before Sumaya, from Ashaya, who's Lebanese Cynthia. She studied English, that's her major in heaven. So if you notice, and in Sumaya's time, when he went from China, he brought him to my translator. So they check the communication. يعني the communication is play a big huge
What about David?
I feel it's not fair. Because you will explain more if you speak with your native language. Even if I know English, but if I was speaking Arabic, I would explain better, right?
Alright, so gentlemen, okay.
Yeah.
We're ready, you're ready.
So, yeah. Hi everyone. Good morning, judges. Good morning. Good afternoon, judges. Sorry. Good afternoon, judges. My name is Susan Guru, and I'm from Nepal. Yeah. So I'm a 3-year-old partner in Starbucks, and I believe as a barista, we're not just brewing coffee, but we're connected with the people and different people each and every day. without heart. We are pouring our passion, dedication, and everything. Yeah. So actually, I'm a certified barista trainer as well, and I'm a district champion winner as well. So today here, finally, I'm very proud to represent my store Barista in this Barista Championship 2026. So as I started my journey as a barista in Starbucks, I started with a simple passion for coffee. Yeah. So, but lately I discovered that coffee is not just only a drink; it is a passion between our farmers, our roasters, our baristas, and finally to our customer. Yeah. So I'm very excited here to share the story of the coffee. Sorry, yeah. I'm very excited to share the story of this coffee from its origin to the final cup of coffee, where there is a passion or behind the dedication, care, and our craftsmanship. So judges, thank you for being here today. Yeah. So let's begin our coffee journey together. So today, coffee, we are doing just only brewing or extracting the flavor. Yeah. So we are even the world-based coffee can be ruined if it isn't brewed correctly. So for this one, we have 4 fundamentals of brewing method, which is proportion, grind, water, and freshness. So for today, I have prepared 54 grams of coffee beans and 890 ml of water. Yeah. So second step for the grind is the small particle of coffee beans. After the beans are grind, like there are no universal grind size. It depends. Requires the different brewing method according to the grind size. Yeah. So for today, I have chosen a French press, which is very easiest and one of the most celebrated brewing method in Starbucks, or we can say one of the core brewing method in Starbucks. So French press was introduced back in 1929. And the third step is water. So for the water, our water, it should be pure and it should not exceed any chemical substances like chlorine or sulfur and anything. So I have taken care of my water today for you guys. Yeah. And for the freshness, if I had to speak about for the freshness, first things we need to understand about freshness is freshness is all about the packaging about the beans. So we can see here, this is the one we bought. We can say it was introduced in back in 1989. Yeah, and it has a 3 category inside, which is sealed, inlet, outlet, and sealed. Yeah, which helps to remove the oxygen from inside, and it helps to keep the phrase out of the enemy. So we have 4 enemies of coffee, which is heat, light, oxygen, and moisture. Sorry guys. I'm a little bit confusing, I'm really sorry. Yeah? So yes, we have 4 enemies of coffee, which is heat, light, oxygen, and moisture. So I still have so much thank you so much to everyone who supported me till now, and I'm trying to do my best each and every day with my passion, with my dedication, and hopefully maybe I'll be doing something good about the coffee. And yes, so we have a for testing category as well, which is smell, slurp, locate, and describe. For the so let's proceed to the testing step, which is smell. So for the smell, why do we need to smell the coffee? To find the aroma, right? Aroma. To find the aroma or the flavor of the coffee.
So aroma is about something we remember or something we can feel something good, yeah. So that is aroma. And the second step is slurp, yeah. Sorry, that's how to say. A bit confusing, yeah.
Easy. This is your store.
Yeah. So the second step is slurp. So why do we need to slurp? We find the acidity of the or the heaviness of the coffee. Yeah. So body of the coffee. So before we slurp, let's cover our coffee cup by left or right hands and bring close to your nose and inhale it. So let's get into the. I think we are done with this. Oh my god! So
Relax.
yeah. So let's proceed with the slurp now. So judges, much louder, much better. Yeah. So let's get into slurp.
There's a Sumatra here.
So for the slurp, we already did the slurp. And the third step is locate. So locate is all about like we slurp the coffee, and we feel the heaviness or the boldness of the coffee, like flavor. We can feel the flavor of coffee. So for at last describe.
Relax. Release your stress.
So for the describe is all about like we smell, we slurp, and we look at. So describe is all about these things, like whatever we find in the smell and what we find or what we feel in the slurp, and what we look at in the like where we can look.
Take a deep breath. Voila. Then start that. Yeah? Yes. Yeah, you do great now.
Delicious.
Yeah. So Pike Press, it is a medium roast coffee beans, and it was introduced in April 8, 2008. Yeah, so it was similar to Pike Press beans is house blend. We have another house blend. So this Pike Press, it was introduced by three men. His name is those were the English teacher back in Seattle market, and they discovered to came up with this coffee Pike Press, whose name is Jerry Baldwin, and Gypsy Jail, Gordon Beaker, and sorry, I forgot the last name. Yes, excuse me. And yeah, so this coffee, we can say that this coffee is like 100% from Conservation International as well. So Conservation International is the non-profitable organization, which was our Starbucks. It started working with Conservation International since 1998. So for Conservation International, their main goal is to set the environment clear or fair, or they help to create a proper environment to fertilize the coffee beans with the constant flavor, constant quality. Yeah. So we have in Starbucks we have a coffee and farmer equity as well. Yeah. So coffee and farmer equity is we have economic transparency, social responsibility, quality, and we have a economic transparency. Environment quality. Sorry, I forgot. So let's describe about the for the economic transparency, they buy coffee from the farmer and they make sure that they treat it equally to everyone, like all the farmers, those who were working behind the perfect coffee. Yeah. So for the quality, our roasters, our everyone, those who are working behind this press cup of coffee are working very. They make sure always about the coffee that the coffee quality is consistent. Yeah, and sorry guys. Yeah, and I think I forget everything.
It's okay.
So about the coffee that I love about the coffee is like since I was in the previous company, like I want to share something about myself. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So since I was in the previous company, like working in a Starbucks, it's like my dream job. So finally, I'm down here. Actually, before I applied to Starbucks, I was maybe, to be honest, like I used to wake up in the morning and my first job is to send CV like, everywhere. Like I don't know, someone who worked there in the admin first. The guy there, the barista there, he gave me the email of Azar. Yeah? So when I woke up early in the morning, and my first job is to send CV every day. Maybe I sent almost like 21 or 23 CV. So finally, I get a call from Starbucks, and I was totally happy. So with this dedication and passion, I'm standing right here. So I'm trying to present something good, but unfortunately, I'm really sorry, guys. I confused. I forgot everything at the same time because of my nervous level, I think. Yeah. Maybe not this time, maybe not tomorrow, but of course one day, as we said. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's all from my side. If not, if you have any question, please, I'll be here, or I'll try my best to answer you guys. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I forget everything.
Yeah, it's okay. You just made it seem like
That's okay.
well, it was as a barista at Starbucks. You agreed to come to work, so you made it, and you are here now.
Yeah.
And you're as a barista champion for this. So we still have a chance. So don't worry. Good luck to you.
Thank you so much, sir. Yeah, thank you so much. Next champion as well here.
Still steaming. The queen is here.
The only thing.
The only queen. No, we are blonde. All the champions are blonde. I'm blonde. Nico is blonde.
Exactly.
Hindi ko alam eh. Hindi na lang. Best ka ang gano'n. Sige, ulit ako eh.
How are you? I thought you would leave that music so Good morning, partners. Good afternoon.
She just wanted to wake up.
So, to some people, brewing coffee can be as simple as adding water into hot water into ground coffee. But to some, it is a scientific pursuit of making the perfect cup of coffee. It does not matter where your journey is. The thing that matters is your passion and the details about how you make your coffee. My name is Bella from Starbucks El Balcon, and Avenue 3. I've been in Avenue 3 for a few weeks since I won the Barista Champion in my district, Manama district. So I'm from two stores. I'm the only lady in the championship, and I'm the only lady with two managers, for that matter. So today I am going to do the blonde, and you're the people who wished I choose blonde, and it came to pass. So in my brewing, we have the 4 fundamentals of coffee. The 4 fundamentals of coffee, these are the things that determine what you will drink. If you mess up your fundamentals, then you will drink the worst coffee. So you have to make sure that the 4 fundamentals, you go with them the way they are according to the steps, to the standards of Starbucks. So in my coffee today, I'm using the 8C cup. I have brewed the perfect coffee using the 4 fundamentals, which is proportion, grind, water, and freshness. Sometimes we forget these things, the proportion, water, and freshness. We forget how we take them through. But there's one partner who taught me how you can remember it. Just say, please go with 4. Then take the first letters. So, proportion. For the proportion today, I had 908 ml of water and 54 grams of ground coffee. Now, when you mess the proportion of whatever that you are using, of the coffee that you are using, then you do the coffee is more, you are going to end up with a coffee that is more extracted, and it will be bitter. If you use less coffee, your coffee will be unextracted and it will be watery. The next thing is grind. Someone is distracting me. The next one is strength of your coffee. If you grind your coffee more small, then your coffee is going to be so strong that it will create so much bitterness in your coffee. If you grind it so big than the French press that you are using, then you are going to get watery coffee. Now, the grind and the proportion are things that us as partners can control when we are making this coffee. Something that we are not going to control is the water and the freshness. This one is controlled by maybe the roasters and the way we are packaging our coffees. And also, the water, the way it is controlled in Starbucks. Just give me a moment. Thank you so much. So, let's press it. And then the next one that we will do is the water. Now, as I have said, water, me as a partner, I cannot control it. But of course, in Starbucks, it's already controlled. We use fresh water that is away from chemicals. And also, the water temperature is already measured in Starbucks, which is 195 degrees Fahrenheit
to 205 degrees Fahrenheit or 90 to 96 degrees Celsius. And then now let's do freshness. Now this, to me, this is the biggest thing when we are doing our coffee tasting. If your coffee, when you are packaging this coffee, the freshness started so long time ago, from the time it was packaged. So imagine keeping the freshness for all that time, and now we are keeping our freshness for a whole year, 12 months. So keeping freshness for your coffee has to be the most critical thing before you even think about water or grind or even the proportion. So the freshness of my coffee, the package is of course not really open as you can see, but I made sure that the packaging of my coffee is a airtight package which has a one-way valve. This one will allow carbon dioxide to come out, and there is no air that will come in. You might ask, how come then there is carbon dioxide in the bag? Now, when the coffee is roasted, it produces carbon dioxide. And that's how we get carbon dioxide in our bags. But then the one-way valve will allow the carbon dioxide to come out, and the oxygen cannot go in. Okay? And then now the freshness also, about the way we said about the water, so the freshness is still in water and it is in coffee. Now, before the bag is opened, we have a 1 year period, 12 months, to make sure that the coffee is fresh. After we open it, we have 7 days. But I am sure at my home I take more than 7 days. But according to Starbucks standards, it is 7 days. And then, now after we grind the coffee, only 24 hours. Partners, do you make sure that it is 24 hours after we grind our coffee? I hope you do throw it after 24 hours. And then now, after we brew our coffee, we have only 20 minutes to make sure that we enjoy the coffee while it is fresh. Now, let's go to the tasting. In the tasting, because as much as we have the 4 steps, I'm adding one today, please smile. Because that one will introduce something in your mind that will make this coffee slap nicely. Okay, let's smell. Everyone smell? For sure, anything that you are smelling right now is correct, because our noses can detect so many. And whatever I have smelled, you might not smell, Madam Achep might not smell, because if you've never smelled caramel, then your nose will not pick caramel. But if you've smelled it, then you will say this is caramel, or this is chocolate, or this is something. That's why whatever you smell in the coffee is correct. It is different from our tongue. Our tongue can only detect like 5, like salty, umami, and sour, and which other one? That one that I have forgotten. So if you smell, then you get those, and it is correct from whatever that you smell. Suggestion, what have you smelled? Caramel. Someone slapped me before I said slap. Dawa, what have you just done? Okay, now our next step will be slapping. Can we slap? You have No, I'm telling you because now this is the reason why I'm reducing my voice. Make sure you fill this room with the slap. It has to slap louder. The louder the better. Let's. I didn't hear it. Can we do again, please? Perfect. Now, when you smelled, you found the aroma. Now you've slapped. What you're going to start finding is the acidity. The acidity, the reason why you slapped is to spread the coffee to the ends of the tongue. That is where the palates are in the tongue. It's either on the sides or on the tip of the mouth. Where did you feel it down?
That's the tip. I think I feel it on the tip of my tongue.
You felt it on the tip of your tongue. Now it's different from everyone. Mostly the reason why I'm asking Dawa is because she's a I don't even know what I'm talking about. But with Dawa, I know she is a black coffee drinker, and for sure she will detect the acidity where she felt the acidity. For me, I feel it on the side. It's different depending on I know you've eaten so much, so your palates are already disturbed. And that's why you can fill it in anywhere, which is still correct, depending on what you've already eaten. Now, we are going to do a second slab. This one will determine where the body of my coffee. Now, I want you to slab, and then I will present for you this food pairing, and then you slap with the food pairing in your mouth. Then you will tell me what you find in the body. The nuts, choose, do your choice. Help me, please. Thank you so much. So when you slap the second trim, what you are finding is the body of the coffee. Now the reason I didn't want to choose the blonde, which you really wished I chose, is because I don't like its body. I never feel it. The minute I drink the espresso, this blonde, it's already gone. It's like it does not stay in my mouth. It's very light. But this was my favorite when I joined Starbucks. I'm sure it will be my favorite for my brothers over there, but it will not be the favorite for most of you judges because already you are used to drinking coffee. Now, my favorite coffee is Sumatra, which gives me the body, the heavy body in the mouth. Now, the next thing we are going to do is describe my coffee. Now, in this bag, as you can see, we have an espresso cup at the front. This espresso, it shows the espresso cups that we are using for brewing our coffees. And then, I have so less story about this Sumatra, you see, I'm still communicating about Sumatra. Why didn't I even choose Sumatra? And then now, the espresso was introduced in Starbucks. I have again forgotten the day that the espresso blonde was introduced. But then, this coffee was introduced to Starbucks so that it can serve the customers who are not into so much deep coffee, like espresso. Mostly we use espresso, the dark roast in our coffees. But we find that most of the customers, they really don't like the heaviness of the espresso beans. So we decided that we will have something that is lighter so that everyone can enjoy it in Starbucks. You see, the reason why Starbucks introduces so many options is because it is a third home for so many people. And when it is a third home, then we must have an option that is catering for everyone. So the reason why we are using blonde espresso in Starbucks is to cater for other customers who don't like the heaviness of espresso. Now this coffee, as much as it is here, it started from a very far time. When I was growing up, I was a farmer. Now, my brothers can testify that. Now I'm not a farmer. Now I am on the 10th field. But I started from the first one. But I am on the last one right now. So as a Barista Champion 2026, I am going to make sure that I will learn everything that is between the first one and the 10th one. Something that I have already missed and I need to learn it. But now, the connection between the coffee that we are using here in Starbucks is about the things that the farmers are doing on the ground, which we've already done as a family. And when I saw my mother and father doing this, in an African home, they say, you give more birth to children, and by giving birth, you get labor. Now, when you get labor and you come in stuff and you go to the farm to create this, make this coffee, then you become the first step in the 10th field. Now, today that I'm in the 10th field, I know that there is a thing that we are using to take this from the farmers. We use the cafe practices. This cafe practices was introduced in Starbucks in 2008. And we partnered with Conservation International so that we made the 4 cafe practices, which is quality, economic transparency, and social responsibility, and also the environmental leadership. Now, these are the things that we make sure that we take this from the first step, which is my father and mother, up to the 10th step, making sure that we are receiving these coffees in the right way and in a transparent way, and while taking care of the farmers and all the people that are on their way until the coffee is brought to us in Starbucks. Now, as I stand here today, I know I am representing the 10th fit, but since I have already tested the first fit, I am going to be the Barista Champion of 2026 to make sure that I finish the next 8 fits that are in the middle. Thank you so much.
You're collecting or what?
Yes.